have a choice?
No, we don't have a choice.
All right, cool.
We started.
Welcome.
Shh.
And you dropped it.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, get it. Get it.
Welcome.
Not being difficult, Wade. There, okay. Hi. There we are.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm Assad,
I'm Greg.
and we're here to talk about Deadpool.
Deadpool. Captain America. Hey, what are you doing? Come on, man.
We knocked them out. All right.
Deadpool does not appreciate that.
What were
Cap's got a movie he's got to get ready for.
Mhm.
Shut up.
What were your impressions? So,
All right, so overall, I enjoyed Deadpool. They did a really, really, really nice job with it, and it was definitely worthwhile to go see. Definitely worth the wait.
said no mom ever.
Said no mom ever. Yeah.
That's
Said
what they deserve.
no moms
Don't
ever.
bring your kids to
Yeah.
a rated R movie.
This is not the typical Marvel movie. This movie is far from it. Still, it's a superhero movie. It's very funny, and I think kids will like some of the humor, but it's not appropriate.
But they may enjoy the boobs too much.
There's a lot of boobies.
Oh, lots of boobies.
There's not actually a lot of boobies, but there are some boobies.
Oh, there's some boobies.
There's some
That's
boobies.
good enough.
Okay, so you liked it.
I really loved it, actually. It was... Usually, I like to give a lot of movies worse than what they are, like, kind of scores, and can't do this for this one. It was good to the storyline, characters were on the spot, two or three things a little off, but that's about it. That's very odd for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, why is this character this way?
Yeah.
What's going on?
There's always that one thing about the movie that you never like. But with Deadpool, I thought they did a really good job of putting something together that will definitely satisfy the need for the fans out there.
Yeah.
The people new to Deadpool or the people that are have read the comics before.
Yeah, and they did a really good job running back and forth between timelines and things like that. Overall, I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Watching that, like I was laughing like a kid, and then leaving the cinema, I never had this feeling where I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited for the next part."
Yeah.
Like I'm already there.
You're already itching for part 2.
Well, hopefully not itching with anything bad.
Something.
Anyway.
Yeah, you might need to get that checked out. Deadpool might have given you something.
Maybe.
Anyway, so let's talk about what you liked most. What did you like most about the movie?
It's got to be Ryan Reynolds. That dude did an amazing job.
Yes, I have to agree. Ryan Reynolds did an amazing job with the character itself. Oddly enough, it has been said that Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds actually kind of started at the same time. He started being published, and Reynolds started acting right about the same time period. So, who knows? Maybe that was a...
And there you go, kids.
Yeah.
It's fate.
It's fate right there. So...
Yeah, it was really cool the way a lot of the characters came together, and having that, like, they zoomed in on a very specific part of his origin. They could have brought in the actual doctor that had been organizing all that.
Yeah.
But Ajax was kind of like the lackey that was doing all the work for it. But yeah, I think the way they did it was everything, and it was really well done. I like that they opened with just all the carnage that you expect.
Get right off into it.
They're like, okay, now that we've gotten your good stuff out, let's give you better stuff for content and make it even better. So it was interesting.
I liked how it didn't like slowly get into it. They bring you in, and it's just like him starting out as a bounty hunter, and they kind of move up the ranks a little bit. I mean, they got right into the Deadpool action.
A mercenary, not a bounty
Whatever.
hunter.
Mercenary.
He's not
bounty
Dog
hunter.
the bounty hunter.
That'd be funny if you had like a show like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, no. I'm sure there's a comic of that somewhere.
I'm sure there's some reference to that. So let's talk about what we liked most about it. Let's talk about 3 things we liked most about it. You can go ahead with your 3. What are your 3?
Gotta say that all characters went fairly well, except for Weasel didn't get much time in terms of his helping out Deadpool a lot. Ryan Reynolds did really well. I like that they integrated a lot of new content with the story. like bringing Colossus and some of the what's her name again?
Angel Dust.
No.
Oh,
They're
teenage Negasonic Warhead.
That's what it was. Oddly, a song. Didn't know that she was named after that song.
Yeah. It's a punk rock song, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that.
All right. But yeah, I like the way they introduced them to help him kind of develop, like show, like the story, and where he's like coming from, going back and forth, and I like the way they broke the fourth wall in a lot of them. Sometimes people get that wrong. Like in the game, I felt like they didn't do it
Enough.
too amazingly.
Yeah.
Or it was very like, okay, let's throw it in here. Whatever.
It was kind of half-assed.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was almost seamless. That movie.
And the double fourth wall breaking.
It's like 16 walls.
That's like 16 walls we just broke there.
But no, I just really appreciated the way they did this. It's not every other Marvel movie that has come out. There's always a list of things that are problems. And everyone has their interpretation of it, but so far what I've heard is just good things about this.
Oh yeah.
What about you? What were your 3 positives?
I really enjoyed how they stayed true to the comics. They brought in Deadpool as the character, and they didn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Like they did with Origins. Origins was a giant pile of crap. They stayed true to the character here. They brought in the wisecracking, fourth wall breaking, violent behavior, crazy asshole that is Deadpool.
I love that he shot Ajax after Colossus gave him that whole
That was I enjoyed that scene a lot.
And I was waiting for it too. I'm like,
we called it in the theater. We were sitting there, and I'm like, he's gonna shoot him. He's gonna shoot him. Kathy goes, yeah, he's gonna shoot him.
I didn't expect Colossus to throw up though, because come on, Colossus has been through like so much crap with the X-Men.
But they're trying to make him into a little bit of a goody two shoes. Well, not really goody two shoes, but a real like high honor kind of person. Yeah, gentleman. But anyway, so I really enjoyed how they stayed true to the comics themselves. I mean, they gave us the Deadpool that we expected. The other aspect that I really enjoyed were the nonstop jabs at Green Lantern and the original Deadpool from the origin story.
That was definitely great.
That was definitely a nice little touch by the producer, who happened to be Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah. He was one of the co-producers on that.
Awesome. Great job.
They did. Yeah, this was fantastic.
The opening scene where you see the Green Lantern trading card, and then the Wham cover where he had the Deadpool. I'm never gonna dance again.
Sorry.
Anyway.
What was the last thing?
The last thing was definitely the breath of fresh air from what we expected or what we saw from Marvel and Fox before. Yeah. Because, the last movie they put out didn't exactly pan out very well.
What was that?
So
Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four.
Well, see, that's a whole other review.
Yeah, that's not even a review that we're gonna dignify ourselves with. All right. What about dislikes? I know there's probably not that many, but let's go ahead with dislikes.
So here's my view with the dislikes is that I'm okay with the way they went with it. But there are like some odd things that they stepped away from the actual storyline. Mm-hmm. The Deadpool is actually, when he goes in to get his cancer cured, he's actually in like this area full of like 100 or so prisoners who are being tested on for the mutant genes and things like that. He's supposed to get his that's the first thing. That's where they have like the Deadpool. They expect whoever goes in for experiments won't come out alive, and so they make bets on it. The other thing is they had Deadpool's healing factor comes from Wolverine, and I don't know if they were trying to like, because Ajax was lying the whole time, that he just didn't tell him that this is what it is. But that power that's supposed to be an innate power that he's like suppressing, I guess, or is a recessant power that his genes aren't expressing. He, like, they said that it's just from him. It's not actually from Wolverine. So that was like weird to me. I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. So it was very like odd to see it go that way. The other thing I didn't like was Weasel as a character is actually somewhat integral to Deadpool, he does a lot of like the research and a lot of the like helping Deadpool out in terms of like where to go, what to do, kind of stuff, or where you're gonna find this, or like here's some information that I found that you could use. He's just kind of like Weasel was almost more like a friend, like chilling out, like that one friend that's kind of your friend, but
Not really.
yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, honestly, the way the movie went, I'm perfectly fine with them changing all that crap. Like, it was just too good to say no to.
Yeah.
It's like these chocolates. You can't say no to the chocolates.
Yeah. To the wonderful Avenger chocolate.
They used to have these as just pure chocolate. Now they have them in different types of chocolate. It's a swirl. And that's what Deadpool is. It's a swirl of magnificence that melts in your mouth.
Deadpool mounts in your mouth. Anyway. Okay, so one of the things that I didn't really get into with the movie was kind of how they lacked an origin story with Angel and Angel Dust and Ajax. You know, I really liked the characters themselves, and I felt like they were adequate baddies, but I just really expected a little bit more of an origin story, like maybe have a higher up that was commanding them, or some kind of semblance to their personalities. I mean, they still did a good job of portraying them as bad guys, but I kind of felt lacking to me. The other thing I didn't like, it was not the movie at all. It was the audience at the movie. It was weird to me that, it wasn't really weird, but it was just, it was weird. It was a little weird that moms would be okay with bringing their kids, or like, so when I said 16, I'm maybe talking more about like under the age of 12. I mean, I saw little kids in there, and it's just, I can't imagine trying to explain any of those scenes to them,
Yeah, that must
Violence.
I mean, they're going to see it eventually.
Yeah, eventually. So what did you think of the after credit scene?
It was great.
That was a great homage, don't you think?
Admittedly, I haven't actually seen that part of Ferris Bueller.
That was actually, I think that was one of the original movies to come out that had an after credit scene. One of the first ones. I like the homage. I immediately got it, and I think I was the only one in the theater to like be like, "Oh, that's awesome," because I felt like a gigantic nerd when I was like, "Yes." But what did you think of the big announcement?
Cable? Oh my god.
Cable.
That's gonna be ridiculous.
Cable's coming to the universe. So what do you expect from the sequel? Obviously, you expect Cable, but who else do you expect?
I'd actually really like him to be tied into the Apocalypse thing, because it'll be really crazy. Cable is a big part of Apocalypse's story.
Oh yeah.
So
you think they're going to introduce Cable? And no, they can't introduce Cable in Apocalypse because they probably haven't even cast him yet.
Well, no. Cable, at the time of Apocalypse appearing, Cable would be a baby.
Okay.
And Apocalypse would see him and be like, "You're a potential threat. I need to kill you." Which could be the start of like that whole story is Summer's running with his child and trying to send him to the future so he doesn't die.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
What do you expect from Deadpool in the sequel?
Deadpool?
More violence?
More violence. I want that teleporter device. I want to see him like getting the kinks out of it, just like learning how to use it, and then finally like
mastering it somewhere in the movie.
Yeah. I want him to like get a catch on it.
You think they're gonna bring in Mr. Sinister?
That would also be in like that's also part of Cable's lineage too. That's the big thing. Like with Deadpool being there, it's gonna be he adds kind of more chaos to the problem. So it'll be fun because he's trying to solve it, but he's also like being his usual self.
Yeah.
And I like that. I just want him to be more. I don't know. Like he didn't lack anything in this movie. There's nothing in this movie he lacked, except for like physical things or story, like different parts of his story that he needs. I mean, honestly, Ryan Reynolds did perfectly well.
Yeah.
And there's no substitute.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's give out some grades. I think I'm going to give Deadpool a A-. I really enjoyed the plot. I really thought they were very true to the... Don't look at me like that. They're very, very true to the character origins and the history of it. So the only thing I didn't like was probably just the minor lapses for the enemies.
Yeah, I'd give him an A. Not even a minus. That's an A. And I don't dole out A's often at all. That was just sexy.
That was sexy.
It was great. I walked in
Yeah, it was
expecting...
It was pretty sexy.
Yeah, I walked into that movie thinking, like, holy shit, this has to be everything I want it to be.
Yeah.
And it was. The whole time it was everything I wanted it to be. And that never happens with movies. Like, even with, like, X-Men, when it started, you're like, all right. Then you went to X-Men 2, you're like, okay. Now you went through X-Men 3, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
Let me just get our shit straight here now.
They did the origins, and you're like, God damn. So, like...
You kind of walk in with lower expectations, but
every time, and you're just like, where are you gonna go with this now?
Yeah, with the combination of marketing and with the combination of just the casting.
Even the marketing for this was great.
Yeah, I thought the marketing was spot on. I thought that when they leaked the test footage, I thought that was definitely like a huge upper for a lot of the people, and the huge reason it was greenlit for.
As soon as I got out, I was like, I wonder if there's a Deadpool like radio station on Pandora. And I looked it up, and maybe 3 people made like a Deadpool playlist.
That's awesome.
And I was just like, I need Ryan Reynolds to actually make a playlist, or at least the group of people that worked on this movie, to come together and be
kinda
like, this is the music that
kind of like a soundtrack they had with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Make the soundtrack already. Like, they have it out.
Yeah, come on, Marvel. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Okay, well, I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, it does.
All right, well, I'm Greg.
I'm going to go grab this poster and run away.
Okay, yeah, well, he's going to probably go touch himself to it. Bye.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Hey, so if you liked what you saw, go ahead and subscribe. Hit Deadpool right here. If you want links to other videos that we've done, go ahead and hit this beautiful area right here. You didn't see me.
Assad, that's my poster. Wait a minute, Assad!
Wait for me!